Yes. All right. Welcome to MeBeBot Demo Day. Welcoming you to the new digital front door for the employee experience. Happy to have you guys here. So that was testing 1, 2, 3.
Hurrah, hurrah. Yes.
Hurrah, hurrah. I've got the little window on the side so I can see faces. I like that. All right. And then I usually open up the participant thing so I can see as people are coming in. Okay, let's wish that all the good energies, all the good people are coming into this demo right now, right? This slide looks fabulous, Bennett. I really like how this looks. It's very modern and cool.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm in Vegas.
I placed the logo so it looks like that's the front door to MeBeBot, right? So it's
no, I saw how you did that. That's great. That's neat. It's and it draws your eyes to it, you know, welcoming down in new workplace. So all right, let me just go flip through a little bit. I know this slide could pop a little bit better, but we'll work on some of these later. Hopefully we can do this more often now, right?
No, once a month is right. I mean, we could do it once.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, this is great.
The third, my thought is let's just plan a third Thursday of every month at this time.
Okay. See how this time works, you know? I mean, it's a little early for the West Coast, but I don't know what your experience has been, Bennett, with time.
You know, it all fluctuates. I think I try to base it on East Coast time. So I kind of try to bridge them right before because sometimes I just do want to do a little lunch and learn, right? So I kind of try, oh, here comes Kristen.
Okay.
Kristen Hancock coming in.
All right. All right. Connecting to audio. So Kristen's the woman that has the internal comms group, remember? Hey, Kristen. Hi, Kristen. We're not putting you on the spot, but hello. Just wanted to say hello. You're our first person to join. I don't know if she can hear me. I think you're on mute.
She just chatted.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wonderful. And you can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready here? Hopefully your weather is nice where you are. Like maybe we'll do a little, where's everyone calling in from? All right. Get the whole perspective. All right. Getting a few more folks in. Hello, everyone. As you're joining, feel free to do a little shout out as to where you're calling in from. Love to see the global audience that we can attract. Hey, Marcus. Nice to see you.
Hey, Beth. Good to see you too.
Yeah. Tony's joining too here. Kristen's out there. Glad to have everybody here. It's a bright sunny day in Austin. the type of winter weather that we love. So yeah, got a few more folks in. Feel free to join the chat. Would love to make this as interactive as possible. Have some fun today. All right, we'll give it another minute. It's just the top of the hour right now, but welcome everyone. If you feel like chatting, you can put where you're from in the chat. We'd love to see where everybody's at today. Okay. Give it another minute. All right. Okay, we got some people, St. Louis, Indianapolis. I'm in Austin, Texas. Oh, by way of Canada. That's right, Kristen. Seattle, great. Bennett, Seattle, wonderful. Good to see everyone here. All right, well, I know there'll be people flowing in, but I'd love to get underway as we only have 30 minutes. And this is such a fun and exciting topic, which is, we'd love to introduce you to MeBeBot and show you how we're providing employees with a new digital front door to their employee experience. So what is this all about? Well, right now, we know inside companies, it's very hard for employees at times to find information they need. Many times they're spending countless hours in a workday looking for information that might be in various different systems of record. And so that's taking a lot of different types of time if you have information hosted in SharePoint or your Google Drive, or perhaps in different file folders. And this information that's dispersed is really frustrating to employees, especially when they have a simple question and they just need to get an answer. So, we want to make employees more productive because we know they have questions. Employees have questions. And frankly, today, they're used to using tools like their cell phones to get instant answers and gratification to their questions. So for those of you who are joining, I saw a few more people flowing in. I'm Beth White. I'm the founder and CEO of MeBeBot, and we're introducing you to the digital front door to the employee experience. And so what we're going to talk about today is, frankly, want to dive into a demo. I'm going to just show you 2 slides to kind of set up, what we have to provide you to give you this new digital front door to support your HR, IT, and ops teams. But really, I want you to leave here today understanding how it works, how easy this solution is to launch with inside your business, and the productivity and time-saving value you all will gain. And so we all know the world of work has changed dramatically over the years, and global and hybrid workplaces are frankly where it's at. And employees are needing solutions that support them 24/7 from wherever they are. Additionally, I know that whole word implementation is kind of a bad word at companies because it takes too much time to launch certain systems. So what we want to show you today is how easy it is to get an AI-powered solution to your employee group across the globe in days to weeks. And additionally, the way we are able to do that is I'm going to give you some insights into our knowledge base. So what we've done is we've curated a knowledge base of hundreds of different types of questions with default answers for your employees so that you can see how you can control the answers the employees are receiving as individual business users without technical expertise. So again, quick, easy to get this solution in front of your employees so that you can start saving time immediately. And the best part about it is inside MeBeBot's portal, which I'll show you, you'll be able to see valuable people analytics data. So you can see the types of questions employees are asking, where they're asking these questions from across the globe. And we'll also show you how we extend this solution to provide both push messaging, pulse surveys, and we've launched a new solution called Manager Toolbot to support those unique types of questions that managers ask, that are very different than typical employee questions. And again, the whole goal is to have a solution that launches quickly. And the way we can do this is using that curated library of content. And then we apply a crowdsourced approach to training the overall AI data model so that we ensure accuracy of answers to your employees at launch, which is great. They need a source of information that's not only providing them quick information, but it needs to be accurate. So we'll give you an insights as to how we do that. All right, so we'll go to the next slide here, and then I promise we'll get right into the demo. I'm just giving you an idea of what you're going to be seeing, and then we'll jump into the different various interfaces and then flow back into a little bit of a summary of MeBeBot and allow, if you have time and want to stay and ask some questions, you can at the end, or feel free to put some questions in the chat as well. So the first part of the process is that employees need a way to reach this digital front door. So we have MeBeBot as an app that installs seamlessly inside Slack, Teams, or as a web chat as well. This allows your employees that front door that they're looking for to get all the different types of questions they need answered from HR, payroll, benefits, facilities, IT. We look at the employee as a holistic individual, and why should they have to know who to ask what to? So if they go to MeBeBot, the digital front door, they're able to get those answers to the questions. Secondly, I'll show you how you can control the answers that the employees receive. So this is the ability to actually edit content on demand for employees because that content changes rapidly. We saw how that worked within the pandemic. People were in office, now they're working home, now they're coming back. Benefits change, payroll policies and remote work policies change. How do you keep up that information to employees? We'll give you access to seeing how that is maintained and managed in a very easy, seamless way for non-technical business users. And then lastly, well, frankly, first, you'll actually see the data that MeBeBot generates, which is super important. I think our customers really love the data because they're able to see how MeBeBot delivers results, and they can quickly see how much time savings MeBeBot has provided their information while they learn insightful information about their people and their needs. Because the whole goal, of course, is to how do we support and elevate the employee experience to make, frankly, work more meaningful. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first I'm going to show Slack, and I think there may have been a little chat going on about how many of you use Slack. But Slack is a collaboration tool that many of you may know of and use. And Slack has apps that you can install into the workplace. So MeBeBot is an app in Slack App Marketplace. We've been vetted by Slack. And frankly, we were the Brilliant Bot of the Month in May and June of last year by Slack app developers. So the first thing that we do is we know that employees live all across the globe. So as your company would onboard with MeBeBot, we would ask you, how many countries are your employees in? And we populate the system so that we can direct content that's very specific to an employee. So if I choose the US as my location, the next thing I'll be asked is if I'm a team member or a people manager, because this gives the ability to have specific information delivered to employees based on their role inside the company as well. So again, I can say I'm a team member. And as you can see, MeBeBot gives a bit of instructions, and that selection of both the country and the role is really just done the very first time the employee interacts with MeBeBot in Slack. And at that point in time, as an employee, I can frankly use MeBeBot on my cell phone. If I have Slack on my phone, I can talk into it, I can text in it, I can ask questions like, when I'm typing into the interface here, when do we get paid? A lot of people ask payroll questions all the time. It's very important to know when they're going to get paid. And so the ability to drive an answer to an employee that's specific to get them exactly what they need. Frankly, they're looking for, when do we get paid? When am I going to see that paycheck? So they get information about the payroll frequency, a little bit of information about direct deposit. They can see the pay dates, and frankly, they can click on a link that can go to a document that may be in your SharePoint, your Google Drive, that gives the whole company calendar. To have documents appear within as links as MeBeBot, there's no integration necessary. You simply add the the URL to the answer, and it's delivered to the employee. Very easy. But we know employees often have other related types of questions. So if they wanted to see additional information, perhaps they had an issue on their paycheck and they want to know what to do next, There's a way that they can actually follow down related topics to get more information to answers. They can get a particular individual's name that they may need to contact. If you have a department and a general inbox, you can surface that in the answer so that employees can get additional help when they need it. They can also rate the quality of the answer, or what's as helpful or not, and see a little thank you message, which is nice. So that's an example of how MeBeBot works inside Slack. What I want to do is, I know there's probably some Teams users on here, and show everyone how MeBeBot works inside Teams. So again, the greeting would be to find out the country and the role the employee is in. The great thing about Microsoft Teams is the IT departments also can install MeBeBot in about 5 minutes into Microsoft Teams. We're also a vetted app in the Microsoft ecosystem. With MeBeBot in Teams, it can actually be pinned to the side toolbar wherever the company chooses to have it pinned. So it's always available to your employees. And again, we answer all different types of questions, whether it be benefits related. We could answer a question about how do I use the VPN, for example, and that way we can get an answer that's IT related. A lot of people, are using VPNs in this point in time, and so they're returned an answer that's giving them, information about virtual private network is what it stands for. Here's a link that's a knowledge article that will show you more information about how to use the VPN, and perhaps information about contacting people if you need help. Again, there's always related topics, and employees have the ability to rate an answer as helpful or not helpful, as I shared before. If they say not helpful, they have the ability to see what a potential escalation path can be. So it can be anything as simple as surfacing an email address for an inbox, or we can tie into ticketing systems if you have ticketing systems to actually produce a ticket. So that's a little bit of insights into the interface for the employee in Slack and Teams. And I know I'm going through things rather quickly. I want to also share with you how we have a web chat as well. Let me just move this little toolbar down. So we have a web chat that installs inside SharePoint pages. Many of our customers can have MeBeBot in multiple locations. And again, the overall goal is to make sure employees have MeBeBot when they have questions, wherever they may be looking for information, which at times may be SharePoint if you're using it for your company intranet. So the magic happens behind the scenes here with MeBeBot's admin portal. So this is what I know a lot of you who are registered are in roles from people operations, IT, various HR roles, even facilities. So as you're looking at MeBeBot, you all would have access to this portal so that you can log in at any point in time, and you can actually see, the types of data that MeBeBot is returning to your employees given different time frames. So again, this is our dashboard of usage information. I was just looking at information from last month. However, I can quickly toggle to last week. I can choose a date range. And what I can see is last week, we answered 292 questions. This particular instance has MeBeBot connected to both Slack or to Slack Teams and as a web chat, and that we have a net new person, a brand new employee using MeBeBot that has not used MeBeBot before. Additionally, we can see that we have on January 15th, 57 different people asked 62 questions. And that's what that data shows when I hover. It's great and fun to see all the different people asking questions across the globe. So you can see little snapshots of this information here. And the beauty of MeBeBot is that we are a holistic solution that answers questions for employees in all different types of categories. And you can see those results appear on our dashboard. So you can see the types of questions people asked about, for example, training related. If you wanted to go into some of the IT types of questions that people were asking about, you can hover and see the different specific, what we call intents or question answer pairs that they're asking about. also at the top, you see you have the ability to export this data as a CSV file if you choose to use the data that way. So very helpful to have all this information in one place. So again, back to where the magic happens. So when employees have questions and you have a lot of answers, I'm sure you've built content, you have knowledge articles or FAQs internally. What MeBeBot is designed to do is allow you to launch a solution very quickly to your employees. And how we do it is this. We have a system we call placeholders. So right now I'm working in content that's US centric. So if I'm someone in owning subject matter expert to the US, I would simply come into the placeholder section and I'd fill out these different variables. So, hey, for those of you who are in the know, the IRS increased their amount for 401k this year. So it's as easy as updating the number here, and then it flows through all the answers to questions that are related to 401k and what you can contribute. Very simple to keep content up to date. You can also use this area to add in different links to documents that might be in other systems. And so first step is fill out the placeholder values that are specific to your business. And then you can kind of watch the magic happen and see all that information flow into the default answers that MeBeBot already has in our system. So I get that people have different questions at different companies, but I spent years in HR myself. And I can tell you that when I went from company A to B to C, they're all about the same types of questions, but what makes it different is your answer. And so we've provided you with these default answers that you simply come in and edit the answer to the question to reflect what your business need is, for example, or your business program is, or benefits. So for example, basic dental benefits. We can see that if you provided as a placeholder United Healthcare as who your dental insurance provider was, it automatically filled into our default answer. We can see that you have, a link to the carrier's website, a summary plan description link, etc. And this provider will change on January 23rd. Well, January 1st. So if you, want to add that in, if you want to remove that content, it's as simple as just making that edit there, hitting save, and now the answer is edited to your employees. So you as business users can edit, update, answer these questions at any time because this information changes dynamically. You may have also seen that things like benefits that change often, you have the ability to come in here and schedule an answer to go live in the future. So for all of our customers that were making changes to benefits, they can now do that within MeBeBot. And I just call it set it and forget it, because there's always lots of moving parts and pieces. A lot of these things change at the end of the year. Nobody wants to work on December 31st updating their benefits information. So you can get that done all in advance, right? So this is just showing you the plethora of content that MeBeBot has. We have content in a variety of category areas across the business. And what we also have, and I know there's some people that were interested in understanding, how do you manage content globally? Well, when an employee selects the country they're in, we again can populate any country that you may do business in our system, and it can all be managed in one simple view in global. So when I click on questions that are global, I can actually get a view into the types of questions that employees will receive based on where they live. So for example, benefits, let's take an example, a benefits summary, okay? I can click on this answer of benefits summary, and I can see that with people in multiple countries, they might have a different summary plan document. You can see that Canada's answer is different from Australia and US. And so this is the screen you would use to just simply manage the answers that the employee will receive no matter where they are across the globe. So it's really great to be able to manage the global answers all from one singular view. And we have a role we call the super admin, and those people are usually on top of what everyone is doing. However, you can have country-specific subject matter experts that can come into their individual country and also make the edits here, which will then appear still under that global view. So that's how easy it is to set up MeBeBot. Simply fill out placeholders, review the edited answers, save and launch, and you're ready to go. Now, to take MeBeBot one step further, we have the functionality of push messages, which allows you to have a whole new communication channel. And I know there's a person on the call, at least I know that it's very big into internal comms, and this is a huge area. How do you make sure employees are getting information that they actually receive and read? So being able to message them in Slack or Teams through MeBeBot is incredibly powerful. Many of our customers used it to send out messages about company reminders of meetings, viewing meetings later. A lot of our customers use this over open enrollment to alert people to due dates for benefits, etc. But it's as simple as choosing a date and time you want a push message to be sent. We can actually read Slack or Teams groups, distribution groups, or channels. For example, if I were to go MeBeBot and I want to do, let's see, I'll just choose that test one. I now have a selected group that I want to send a message to. I can go to the next phase. We've provided a bunch of sample templates that you can use that other customers love and use as well. Or you can provide a net new message on your own and create something custom. And again, the goal of push messaging is to be able to either upload a list, and you can also do that too as a CSV file, use a current distribution list, and be able to send out targeted push messages to your employees. The other amazing feature is pulse surveys, because we don't only want to communicate, but we want to gather feedback from our people. We need to keep our finger on the pulse of how our employees are doing. And we do that through pulse surveys. So we have the ability to send out pulse surveys from MeBeBot very simply, like you did with the push messaging. Schedule them on a date and time, select a group, or upload a CSV file. And once those employees receive the pulse survey, dynamically, as they're responding to the survey, like I can choose this survey here, I can see the survey was sent out on November 14th to 13 people. 7 people responded and gave some feedback. And it was really driven to potential new managers who were asked to set up one-on-one meetings with their employees. And this is a way that we can follow up to see if that's happening. And so it's really great in the sense that we've had our customers report back to us that they have 70 to 80% participation on pulse surveys. So they're getting fabulous results from the pulse surveys. So all of this is part of why and how MeBeBot is unique and different, is that we not only automate answers to employee questions, but we're able to provide those answers to employees very quickly, giving you all the ability to get a solution out there that's accurate answers to employees. You have the ability to dynamically change the content at any time. You can leverage the push messaging and the pulse surveys to continue the adoption and engagement of employees of MeBeBot, and you'll be able to see all those results. You see the results on the dashboard. You get to see how many employees are asking questions. You get to get feedback from employees. You are able to see what their needs are so that you can more quickly identify and address them. And then lastly, it really fits into our whole pillars of what makes MeBeBot unique. And we, believe work should be meaningful. And in order for work to be meaningful, employees need to, we need to enable employees. We need to enable them to be more productive, providing them information when they need it, solving their problems, reducing frustration. We enrich their experience when we're able to communicate to them in real time, very targeted messages. We put these solutions in their flow of work, in the popular collaboration tools that they're likely to use all day long, like Slack and Teams. Using pulse surveys, we're able to engage with employees. We're able to understand their business needs, what they need help with, how we can better serve up information for them and support them to be successful. And all of this is just really empowering the individual employee to have control over their employee experience, giving them access 24/7 from wherever they are, because we know the world of work has changed. It's very dynamic and it's asynchronous, and we need to provide solutions that empower our employees, because when we do, we free up our own valuable time to be more successful and work on more strategic aspects of the business. So lastly, and then we'll leave it to some questions and answers if you all have them, but we'd love to hear from some of you who are on the call. We'd love to learn, what are you doing today? And what are your goals for your employee experience? I know it's kind of a big term that's been out there today. It's really looking at the employee holistically, using, all you can to help drive talent acquisition as well as retention, because it breeds healthy organizations that are more successful. I know today there's a lot of companies answering questions to employees manually. I get it. I've been there, but how do you handle that today? How can we show you how you could do that differently? Because frankly, if you're spending more than 1 hour a day on answering questions, that's too much time. And we can provide a quick ROI to prove that out to you. And again, communicating to employees, it's a noisy world out there, giving very different ways to get attention of employees, especially when it's pertaining to things that are under time constraints or important to the business or important to their well-being. Push messaging helps with that, but what else are you doing today, and how do you gather feedback? And then in return, we'd love to share with you how we're helping our customers today achieve success and freeing up valuable time, supporting their employees 24/7 from wherever they are across the globe. So I thank you for being here. I know our whole team does. We'd love to have a chance to meet with you. And I think we may have a few minutes if I want to stop sharing and see if we had any questions.
Beth, there were actually a couple questions that came in, so let me just get through those.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think
Thank
one of
you
the
all.
questions came from Marcus in terms of he saw some of the country flags, and he was curious to understand, how do we support foreign languages?
Yeah, foreign languages. So today, MeBeBot is provided in English with English answers. However, it is on our product roadmap this year to start supporting multiple languages. We have a new methodology that we've been prototyping that we're feeling very confident in, where we can speak more languages than just English. But today it's English content, English answers, but we're on a good product path to get to have more support and more direction. We do have customers in over 50 countries today providing MeBeBot answers in English.
Awesome, thank you.
Caitlin had asked some questions, and we showed a little bit about editing the questions. She was curious about that.
Just the process of editing it. Okay, great question, because again, we want to make this as easy as possible. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, and we'll get into that mode where I can show you. So for example, if you have employees in the US or any other country, hey, here's a good example: holidays. Everybody had a new updated holiday schedule, right? So we can quickly go into a country. We can type in the word holiday in the search. I can see right here, here's my holiday answer for Canada. But guess what? I know we released a new calendar, and there's some different holidays that we're supporting. So I can see right now the list of holidays in the answer is actually a placeholder. So by just simply editing the placeholder of the question, I'll be able to update the answer for Canada distinctly. I can also provide a link into other questions. So I would come in here to Canada, and I would type in holidays. And I would see this is my list of holidays. And perhaps I'm going to give a couple more holidays off. I'm going to give off, Labor Day. And I know they spell it like that in Canada. So we can add Labor Day in, and now your answer is up to date with your new holidays. So it's that simple, because then that flows into the answer over here. And that's how content is managed and maintained. Good question.
Yeah, as well as another individual, Nico, asked the question about how do we support, kind of been talking a lot about global employees, but if you can recap how we support employees in other countries today.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the goal is to learn what countries do you have employees in. There is the concept of global questions and placeholders. So at times there's a lot of content in our solution that is, for example, if I were to look at general in nature, things around company events and company goals. I mean, these are usually one question that pertains to everyone. And so in global, you can see that we can set the same answer to appear in every country when we're talking about something very specific like goals. So this is how global content is managed, where if there's one answer that appeals to everyone, it's just changed in one place. However, we know that there's a lot of outlier content, specifically in payroll and benefits. That's a heavy area. Employment law, et cetera, revolving around leave of absences, maternity leave, paternity leave, et cetera. And so in the answer section in each country, you will see different types of content that's unique to a country that you can also come in and edit any of this content that's specific for the country.
Yeah, great.
So that's how we deliver very poignant content to people based on where they are.
Right.
In the world.
Great. Lance had a great question about data.
Okay.
He says, can you recap the different data you can measure via an email?
Via email.
Yeah.
So with the dashboard, I guess.
Yeah. If you could send us some screenshots
via
sure. Via email.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was. So I was thinking about, so we've got somebody on our team that is responsible basically for data. So everything that we do and the products and services that we offer and deliver, we want to measure. And so, I want to give him some thoughts around, the things that can be measured and your capabilities and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, that's great. So the dashboard has the snapshot of data, but what your person who's probably in people analytics or using business intelligence tools, they can actually export this data as a CSV file to import it into other systems as well.
Okay.
And it contains even more questions or more data around types of questions asked, how many times, et cetera. So there's even more of data available than what you're seeing on the dashboard.
So if there's any example, like obviously this is all probably test data. So if there's an export or something that you can kind of demonstrate for him, the types of things, because I want to get him thinking around, what he can provide. Obviously with whether it's your bot or any bot, he's kind of new to the data world. So this is really
all ever changing. And, our goal first and foremost is to show you that employees, enjoy using MeBeBot. They're using it. The types of, variety of questions they ask, that they're using it across the globe. We can even see fun spikes when we have our customers send out a push message. For example, don't forget open enrollment final day is in 2 days. If you have questions, ask MeBeBot. Boom, there's a spike in activity in MeBeBot. So we see a lot of correlation to events happening across the business with the data. We can surface issues that might be happening. One of our customers was having an issue with the time and attendance system, and there were a lot of questions being asked to MeBeBot. So we were able to surface that and provide that back to the business so that they knew they needed to take a look at a few things. So the valuable data is not just, it's real time, and you can instantly take action on this data.
Yeah, that aligns really well with, the things that we're trying to do different on our team as learning and productivity is track that behavior. If we pull this lever, what happens? Somebody show us what happens. And today, sometimes we just don't know. Was it successful? Do we need to do more of it? Or was it a flop? And do we need to change how we did it or try something different or focus on the areas that get that bump? So yeah, I really like that.
Yep, absolutely. And pulse surveys is also a huge area of data, right? This data is coming in and it doesn't have to be all serious. I tell our customers, use it for fun things. I mean, we used it, to just say, hey, when do you guys want to have the company holiday party, for example, or, what are your thoughts? I mean, there's so many things you just want to know what people would think to do or not to do. And, I tend to think sometimes surveys are overthought, that there
Mhm.
always have to be employee satisfaction oriented, but sometimes they can
Right.
just be, hey, we're going to order, food for the company, happy hour. Do you want pizza or, tacos, right? So always the big debate, right?
Yeah, I love that because, and especially us being a consulting organization, we're very buttoned up. We're very gray sometimes. There's not a lot of color. It's all about business sometimes, and so we're really trying to change that. So I like that idea of including fun, including personal. We all work hard. A lot of people work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So appreciate that awareness.
And you can drive some fun culture through push messaging and pulse surveys to kind of get people, to kind of come alive, especially in consulting where people are likely at client sites or remote hybrid work. I mean, how do you pull all that together? So that's another one of our main goals.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great feedback.
Couple more questions, Beth.
Sure.
Caitlin asked about integration, or specifically her question was, does MeBeBot sit as a standalone system, or does the bot embed into other platforms through a widget, and how does it work on a smartphone?
Okay, so good question. So I'll answer the easy one on a smartphone first, because that's simple with MeBeBot. If you have MeBeBot installed in Slack, we're part of your Slack app, and you can chat to MeBeBot just like you would a coworker. Same thing with Teams. If you install Teams on your phone, we're simply a chat like you chat with your coworker. As far as integration into other systems, the web chat integrates into SharePoint, as I was showing before. Integrations into systems of record, that's also part of our product roadmap this year, where I know, many of you use core HR systems like ADP, Workday, UKG, et cetera, where you may house a lot of people data. Can we be part of those ecosystems? So we're in active conversations with a number of those companies. We have some of our customers that want to do some integrations to APIs to further personalize the experience so employees can get even more detailed information about themselves that may be living in other systems and tools.
Right, great. And then Robert had a great question about kind of connected to when employees are asking benefit questions. So his specific one is, what restrictions are available if they ask about HIPAA protected data?
Right. Well, today, here's a great example. I know all about HIPAA, so it's definitely keeping information private. You may have noticed when employees greet the bot today, they are asked to select their location and their role, because today when an employee asks a question, they're coming in anonymous to MeBeBot. So we do not house that type of PII information. We don't know who an employee is. We just know their location. And then, as you can see, a lot of the information we provide, if an employee was giving us detail about like this, I have an issue with a claims problem. Again, we're not going to get into specific HIPAA related difficulty or challenges with them or related topics with them. We're going to serve up an answer that likely is, as you can see in this instance, asking them to contact perhaps their broker. That might be the person that your company provides as who helps employees with claims, for example. So our employees are asking questions anonymously, and they're getting essentially the same type of answer for every employee. But to Caitlin's question about integration to other systems, when we move down that path with you and we are able to identify employees, there will be more handling of the PII information. So it is a good time to bring up that we are SOC 2 Type 2 certified. We do have employees using MeBeBot solution, like I mentioned, in over 50 countries. So we have globalization of the solution as well. And we take any information and the whole approach to data very seriously.
Great. Those are the questions.
All right. Well, I know we went over time a little bit. So gosh, thanks everybody for joining. It's great to have you all here, and hopefully you have some good information to take back to your business. Please feel free to reach out to us directly. I will go ahead and just put my email address in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to email me, and happy to, I believe we're going to share a recording of this that you may then share with your internal team after we're finished here today.
Great.
All right. Thanks everyone for being here. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks you all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.